Hi, this is a surface lure for pike. Not sure how effective. It's in its infancy really in terms of road testing. I've always tended to try it a little bit too late into the autumn. It's probably better as a fly for the warmer months. But here goes. We'll go through the tie-in. First of all, it's an articulated fly in two parts. There's a tail section and a head section, both pretty much the same, linked by a little piece of single strand bite wire in like a loop, so that the two parts sort of move independently from each other. Also there's sort of a long rabbit zonker tail, which is quite an important part of the action when you see the thing in the water swimming. Okay, so I'll start. I'm going to have something like a size 2 hook. This is an old one that I've stripped down from an old salmon fly for the front hook. The back hook can be a little bit smaller, maybe a size 8, something like that. Anything long shank lure hook. And this is the tail section. Squirrel tail plus the rabbit zonker tied in. I'm just putting a bit of foam buoyancy, like a buoyancy wing in. This is an old neoprene wader repair kit. Had quite a section of neoprene in black. It seems to work very well for all my surface lures. Incidentally, this fly, if you tie it in a smaller size, it could be used for chub as well. Just getting a bit of adhesive on in between various layers there. Give it a little bit of resistance against the ferocious attacks, hopefully. Now what I'm putting on is a bit of deer hair. We'll spin that onto the body. Just gives it a bit of sort of bulk and a bit of fizz. The last thing you want is this fly to look too manicured and neat. You'll see what I mean when you see the finished thing. It's got to look sort of quite bedraggled. A friend of mine once told me when I was originally messing about with the prototype that it looked like a drowned rat, which is pretty well exactly the effect I want. It wants to look like a rat or a bank vole, struggling a bit. It's found itself in the water and it's having a bit of a good old struggle to get to the bank. That bit of vulnerability is absolutely a key thing with predators, I think. Prompt them to attack even if they're not very hungry. You see something that's struggling. So that's nearly the end of the tail section. I've speeded up the video a little bit to make sure it doesn't last forever. Bit of adhesive on there and a whipping knot to finish. And then we're ready for the front section. Any minute now. There we go, nice strong whipping knot. Cut that off. This is the front section. As you can see, a much bigger hook. Get a better silk round there. And I've just, while I was off the camera, I've just threaded a loop of wire into the rear hook, and you'll see how we connect them now. Trim that off. And there's the rear section, which we just tied a few minutes ago. Trap that loop. I don't think the length's that critical really. It could be anything from a couple of inches to 4 or 5 inches long, depending on what you're trying to emulate. To be honest, if I think I made it any bigger, it'd be very difficult to cast on fly tackle. It's not the easiest fly to cast. That's the wire trapped. There. A little bit more adhesive on the bed as I trap them in. And then, quite important, fold them back on themselves, and then this the tie-in can't slip. If you hook a fish on that, a big fish on that tail fly only, it's putting the whipping under an enormous amount of stress. Okay, that's pretty well it with the whipping. And now the next stage, we're going to get some more of the black wade repair kit foam tied into this this back section. There we go. And a bit of deer hair. Plenty of deer hair on the front of it, and then we fold the wing back over. Let's just get another little bit of squirrel tail on the front, just to give it a little bit more buzz. There we go. Fold the wing back over and trap it. What I do like to do with the wing is let it overhang slightly at the front. That makes it sort of aquaplane. When you pull that fly back in the water, that sort of sticky up bit at the front is pushing a bit of water. You can even make it skip over the surface, but it certainly helps to make the commotion. The key things about this are the obviously the buoyancy, making sure it moves water, and of course that wiggle action. When that rabbit zonker tail gets wet in the water and you pull it, you can impart a little bit of wiggle into the rod if you want. Just give it a bit of a shake as you're retrieving the fly, and it does give it a very killing action. Okay, and that's the finished thing. If you want, you can put an eye on like this one, or a couple of eyes either side. I don't think it makes much difference. It's the overall sort of silhouette and action that does the damage. Here we go. We'll try the thing in the canal. Nice sort of still, mild evening. So we're here on a nice evening at the end of September. It's quite mild weather, and we'll give him a bit of a drag around here, and you'll see the action on the lure. Plus to these wee beds here. There you go, you can see it working in the water quite nicely there. A big V-shaped way, because this ratty works across. I'm going to have to move on to the inside at this point because there's a narrow boat coming down. So we'll just try this near margin.
Oh, yes! Bloody hell. Nice one. Oh, yes. I'm a little rat. I hope you're on, buddy.